In this video we'll be fitting the Aprilia genuine alarm / security device from the factory to both a 2024 and a 2025 model. This is the alarm kit you buy, which is for various Aprilia models. The key is specific to this device, so if you lose the key you're going to have to change the whole lot. And with the fitting kits, because we've got both a 2024 and a 2025 bike, there will be some slight changes. And with the fitting kits, the whole fitting kit, while it appears exactly the same, the one item in the kit, which is the main harness here, has a slightly different part number. This one ends in 844, which is for the 2025 bike, and this one for the 2024 and previous models ends in 569. Even though like all the colours of the wires look the same, I'm still quite not sure why it's different, but we'll just trust Aprilia's word on that. Okay, step one is to put the double-sided sticky pad on the back of the alarm, this side here. So it just goes on like that, and then we have to orientate it to the holding bracket, which should be like that, and then a cable tie goes through it. So we'll take the key off because that's in the way. Remove the sticky pad. Should probably degrease that. Put a bit of brake cleaner on there. Okay, now we'll peel off the backing, and then make sure it's the right way up again, and then it'll go centralized on there, just so the holes are aligned, so you can see all the way through. And then we put the cable tie through there. Nice and snug. Chop that off. Okay, nice and simple. Part one. You can see on this connector here, which you can see matches up to the LED which will go on the dashboard. This one's not actually used. The bike already has the connector plug on the dashboard for this light. So the crazy thing is, you probably could fit two of them, because it comes with two of these. The alarm actually comes with one with a long cable, and then the short one here. This is the one that will be going behind the dash, because you don't need all this excess wire here. But this is probably for another model of bike. But you know, for whatever reason, you can fit two. But yeah, they're pretty much the same, apart from the length of the wire. As an adventure bike, I recommend putting a little smear of grease around there. It just helps keep water out. And then the connector will go on like that. And this one here, even though it says just tie out the way, there is some current going through that, so you want to cover that up. What I normally do is get the end of a latex glove on a connector plug, snip it off, and then I'll cable tie it on there. And that just works better than most things for me. Just go get a small cable tie, and then just put it on there. Nice and tight. And no water should be getting in that very easily. Just gonna do the LED first, which involves pulling out the speedometer here, and this is where the LED is going to go. You drill a small hole here, a pilot hole, and you go through with 9mm, so it sticks in there. But you probably can just do it by pulling this off with the 4 bolts on the front. But from memory, the connector plug, I could get to it better on the back here. I remember seeing it when I was doing another job. But also, it's good to be able to clean behind this windscreen, because it's not very easy with it attached. While I'm here, I'm just going to put some silicone on the back of these captive nuts that go on the back of the windshield bolts. There's supposed to be something on there, but some of them don't have it for some reason. They're supposed to be like a rubber silicone, but only 1 or 2 of them have it, and it's pretty much come off now. So just going to put a little dab of silicone on there, and then slide it in there. Just makes it easier when it's coming apart. I'm going to remove these 4 bolts here now to gain access to the back where we're going to be putting the LED. I still might have to undo the front end. Okay, just up on the top right corner, looking at it as I am, that's the connector for the LED that will be going in. I will be taking the front off so I can feed the wires through nicely, and when I drill a hole I don't want to be drilling into any wires, so I'm going to unbolt that, pull it away, and then drill my hole. Okay, I'm just going to lift that forward, try and unhook it at the bottom. There we are. Right, that's away now, so I can drill a hole in that without causing any damage. I've just gone through with the final drill after using a series of pilot drills. Finished with the 9.5mm one as per the instructions. You might want to slightly deburr it so this will sit flush, and you can see I'm using the short LED, not the long one supplied with the alarm. Just going to deburr that. Okay, right. Hopefully this will go in nice and easy now. Connector plug's got to be able to fit through the holes. Just got to try and squeeze the tabs on the sides down of the thing. Okay, that's in now. See that? It looks pretty professional. Doesn't look too aftermarket. Okay, now this step here, we just got to feed the wire through the back. Make sure it doesn't get caught on anything on the way through. Just going to go through the biggest gap I can find. It's coming out the bottom there. As long as it meets up with the connector plug on the top here, we're not going to have a problem. Okay, now we just need to make sure it's the right way round. See that? It's nice and plugged in now. Just got to put it back together now. So, hook the bottom in. What the fuck was that? Yeah, this is another problem. These can drop out. It's one of your little captive nuts here. I'm just going to put some silicone on that as well, stop it coming out. That's the captive nut for the backing plate. It's a little bit annoying that it drops out all the time, so I'm just going to put a little dab of silicone on it. Just keeps things a bit more in place. If the other ones are loose, I'm going to add some silicone to them. With these 4 bolts now secure, I'm just going to put this back on. I'm going to clean that up as well. So the next step will be removing the crash bar and this side cover to gain access to the panel. I've never actually removed these side covers, so this will be interesting, and it'd be quite handy to know for other maintenance. I'm going to remove the side cover, which I've not done before, but one down here. There's one underneath here near the horn, and there's one next to the radiator, if you can see that just there. I'll take them all out and see if that works. Okay, and now I was right, there's just one more little plastic pop rivet that goes here. Just pop it over a screwdriver, the middle part, and then pop out the whole thing. Keep that safe. Right, and now that comes out. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see, I'm pretty sure the bracket goes on these 2 here. Right, let's keep that safe. Right. Okay. Well, there seems to be some little holder there, which I think might be for the connector plug, but I'll check in a second. If you look closely, there's a white connector block here, and this one has a blanking cap on the end, and it's being just hooked up onto the loom. This is the one that will be plugging into the alarm. So just need to cut that little tie off there, take the cap off. So what I'm going to do, as I haven't got many hands free, is undo these 2 bolts here, secure the bracket, then I'm going to connect the wire on here to there, and I'm pretty sure that is the little holder for the connector plug, and I'll get back to you once I've done that. Okay, I've got it installed. I'll show you how I've done it and a few things to bear in mind. If you've had the crash bars and had to remove this bolt here for the crash bar, that spacer might drop out. So I've put that bolt in for now just so I could centralize all this and make sure that spacer is easy to get in. Otherwise you might not be able to get it in afterwards. Another thing to bear in mind is the threads in there and then here, because I use high strength thread lock, you might need to clean the threads out with a tap. I cleaned this one out because it was all full of hardened thread lock and it was just hard to get the bolt back in there. You see, this is how I've looped the wire. I've gone up, around, behind, and then up, and I'm pretty sure this is the holder for the connector plug, and then the original wire that was blanked off is plugged into the top here, and then I've used some cable ties through the little hoops that are already on it to basically just secure it. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to work. And now we can do a functions test. So press the lock button, you can see the lights on the dashboard. Press it again, lights off. Also, if you unplug this or tamper with it, the alarm will go off anyway. And yeah, obviously I've still got to play through the settings of what the key does. I'm not quite sure which does what and how to set it into different settings, but that'll be something in the instruction manuals for the alarm. But this just shows you how to retrofit, install it. I won't show you how to put all this back together because it's just reversal of removal. Okay, we're all back together. The battery's a little bit low, but I'll just do a little demonstration. So press the lock button, LED comes on. If I put the key in and try and start it, say someone's tampered with your ignition, press the start button. Okay, I'm not sure if the front indicators are meant to flash, but they don't for me, but the rear ones do. It could be partly to save battery. If you follow the instruction manual, you can go through the various settings to adjust sensitivity and duration. But anyway, I hope this video helps. We'll be doing some more videos on installing parts to the bikes along with adventures.